Can you guys hear me now? There we go. There's audio now on the screen. My bad, guys. Okay, so here, let me see if I can fix this a little bit too. Yeah, I was over here operating with no audio on stream. That's crazy. So basically, guys, what I was saying earlier was that we did get a basis point cut. Okay, that basis point cut led to us obviously having a rally in markets here. What the Fed did say is that we're going to be, okay, you know, cutting rates here. They are prepared to print money. That's what they said in a very basic, simple way. They weren't dovish at all, which means that they didn't insinuate that we were going to hike rates at all. But they did say that we were going to come to a pause here, and we'll see how inflation reacts towards January 1st, January 2nd. They think that the majority of inflation will start to balance itself out after the trade war, after the trade tax tariffs kind of slowly fade away on the effect on inflation. So right now, they're cutting rates. Again, and what I said earlier was 2026. Looks like we're going to have a jump. Again, we're going to have a jump on 2026. I just read this report here. I was looking at it. Basically, they're saying that job growth and unemployment slowed down a lot faster than expected. And inflation is still higher than what, you know, they want it to be. They want more, you know, employment, and they still want a lower inflation. So they're committed to still obviously bringing inflation down and to, you know, obviously push the job market. But if they need to, they basically insinuated that they will cut rates if needed, you know, not just cut rates, but also print money here. So that's one thing that Powell said today. Let's look at everything now. Yeah, this thing kind of just did its thing, right? Fill that gap that we talked about. Wow, that's crazy. Filled that gap that we talked about, swiped that liquidity, and then what? Went lower here. We had a rally. Rally today. Well, they said the famous words. What was the famous words? That we're going to potentially, what? Print money. We were up and down on this last trade here on SPX. What I'm looking for now is going to be most likely buys, pullbacks, and then buys. We still haven't broken that structure here to the upside here. This might just be a fake out. For the rest of the year, we might just do something like this, guys, because we probably have one more week left, and then we're just going to see this. You know, redistribution, reaccumulation. That's all we're going to see, really. Back and forth action, right? So what I'm looking at next here is, let's take a look at Russell is more bullish. We did call buys for Russell. I'm still bullish on Russell here. That money printing, obviously, comment is what made us move to the upside. Let's look at VIX. S&P VIX is moving lower than expected. I don't know how I feel about SPX going higher. Okay. Just because, like, now that the rate cut's been done, like, what's the probabilities of us going into another rate cut? I just see profit taking happening from here. I don't really see anything. Yeah, we did create a higher high. Potentially a buy might come here, but this might just be a swipe of liquidity for us to go lower. I hate this time of year because trading tends to be really boring. Like, this back and forth action, I don't like trading this. I hate trading this. I love trading stuff like this. Things like this. This is what I love. I love trending markets. I hate this. This right here is just where you lose money. I don't like this. Now, it might be a scalper's dream. You could just trade the order blocks and indecisions here, but look at this. Swipe of liquidities, right? You have a swipe liquidity to the downside. Swipe liquidity over here. Swipe liquidity to the upside right here. Just trash price action. The price action's terrible. And it's normally because of what? It's because of just the time of the year, right? Not too much volume, not too much movement. People are starting to take profits here. You're going to start to see that here. Okay? I'm still a believer in gold moving to the upside here. We still have to fill in these gaps. Just kind of how we filled in the Dixie gap. Okay. What am I looking at with Dixie here? See that gap got filled that we talked about? That it needs to move to? And it did exactly what we talked about. Swipe liquidity. Dixie now is going to move to this low. Which means markets are now choosing to go to the upside. Why? They're announcing that they're going to print money, man. If they're going to print money, and they basically set it on what do you call it? On national TV, and said, hey guys, we're willing to do whatever's necessary. So if the job market goes below, we would take all measured steps. What's all measured steps? Printing money. They're about to turn it on. You're going to see yields increase and move to this upside here. That's what I'm looking at with bonds. Where are we in our gold position? Yeah, we're in buys still. I mean, this is a super easy buy. Market's pulled back. I'm still in buys on this. Break of structure here on the 4 hour. You're going to want to look for a pullback and an extension to the upside. Damn, this thing might pull back where? Probably here and then run to the upside. I cleaned up this chart just a little bit because it was giving me way too much 20 seconds, guys. Give me 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm looking at, my bad guys, I'm looking at this thing is swipe downward here and then extend to the upside. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the next section here, or next session here. When it comes to GU, let's look at GU. Obviously this was an amazing trade, right? We took earlier, I kind of was giving some examples here. Up 90 pips, this thing is going to probably extend all the way over to probably this zone here. Very simple, very easy trade with FOMC today, so not a problem there. Okay, what I'm looking at with USD CAD, did its swipe of liquidity, bang, FOMC, normal swipe of liquidity. I wasn't really trading USD CAD, to be honest. I've been kind of just watching it. In the meantime, I've been kind of just looking at gold, sticking to gold, looking at GU really, and some SPX, but not really that much SPX. Let's look at crypto here. This thing is still kind of doing its thing. Kind of going back and forth here. It's an order flow though. That's the thing that about me, it's like, yeah, like again, people are talking about, oh, crypto's going up, but it's on an uptrend. This right here is institutional order flow here. This is textbook swipe of liquidity. They're getting ready to, they're getting retail to buy. They think we're on an uptrend. And then what they're going to do is they're getting retail to buy, thinking it's okay, we're going back on an uptrend, and then bang, they're going to swipe price. This is order flow, textbook order flow. I would never get into this trade here, especially if we're at this indecisional order block area here. I'm not getting in this. This is for sure a sell. Okay. We almost hit my area today of 95K. I'm going to look for sells on Bitcoin tomorrow. All other crypto pairs I'm going to sell. This is going to be a quick session, guys. MSRT, I'm looking at a sell, a fill in order and then a sell zone. Wow. NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is going to pull back. I think it's just going to relax for the rest of the year and then probably extend. It's going to reaccumulate for the rest of the year, to be honest. Coin. It might. It's an order flow, man. I don't really trust something when it's an order flow. I don't like it. I really, really, really don't like it when something's an order flow. Let me look at SPX here. Yeah, guys, so this is kind of what I'm looking at. Just a quick update here on everything. I'm still in buys on gold. GU is still moving to the upside. I mean, USD CAD's probably going to move to the downside here. You're going to want to look for more shorts. Let me look at this here. Bitcoin. I'm looking for sells on Bitcoin even more. If you guys have any questions on pairs, we can go over it here specifically, but nothing else really that's sparking my interest here. Let's look at what's happening with ETFs here. I think that's Bitcoin ETFs are actually reaccumulating. It looks like Bitcoin ETFs are getting ready to start reaccumulating here soon. Doesn't look like it's no longer at a downtrend, but we don't know yet. It could be that swipe real quick. Let's look at gold ETF flows. That's, I think, very important as well. Slowly, even though they're at highs, might be heading downward in the beginning of the year, and then January start to pop and rally. BlackRock buying a lot or no? Oh, they're not buying that many. Huh. Interesting. I want to take a look at one more thing before I call it a night, guys. Interesting. Gold's gonna hit all-time highs next year. We're gonna go on this parabolic run. This is gonna be the last parabolic run before a massive retracement here. We're going on this parabolic run, guys, with gold for sure. Wow. That is insane. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Wow, this parabolic run in January, I'm ready for it. Completely. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.